What's going on, guys? Ted here with the A-Team. Today we're at the Hurlbut Clubhouse, and we're going to go over practical lens effects and how you can use them in your next film. Alrighty, guys, so now we are on set, and I'm super happy to be introducing my friend Justin Jones. He's an amazing filmmaker and DP living in Los Angeles that's done music videos for Hobson, Zayn, Diplo, some of the biggest artists out there. And today we're going to be going over practical lens effects. So, Justin, what is a practical lens effect?
Basically, a practical lens effect is anything you can find or make to put in front of the lens to give you a special effect that you don't have to do in post.
Right on. So we're going to check out a couple of Justin's favorite practical lens effects. Let's go to set. Alrighty, so now that we've gone through the lighting of our set, walk us through our first lens effect.
Great, so what our first lens effect is plexiglass. To make the lens effect, you put a heat gun, you kind of give the plexiglass a little bit of pressure and bend it, and then you slowly, with the heat gun, kind of go back and forth on the plexiglass until it gets hot enough to melt. But make sure that you don't leave the heat gun in one spot for too long or the plastic will bubble. The effect that this gives off, it'll just blur one section of your frame and keep the other sides clear. It also kind of gives you like a double effect. The next lens effect is the Diopter, aka the magnifying glass. You can get photography or filmmaking diopters at different levels. Basically what those are is just thicker glass with more magnification, or you can use magnifying glasses. Basically what you want to do is make sure that they don't have a frame on them or a ring or anything like that. You just put it right in front of the lens, and it's just going to kind of blur your edge and kind of give you a more magnified image than what you're actually already getting. So the cool thing about lens effects is it doesn't have to be anything crazy or expensive. So what I did was I got one of those old classic style light bulbs and I tested it out. What it gave me was some really cool effects. The filament inside the light bulb actually picks up like external light sources that are coming into it. It kind of gives you a sparkle, and it also kind of distorts the image because you're shooting through rounded glass. So the next effect is just a variation on the vintage style light bulb. It's the amber vintage style light bulb. Kind of give you an in-camera coloring as well as that same vintage light bulb effect. The next effect is kind of, I'd say, like a candlestick prism. What it is a prism. So what it does is it bends light, creates different colors. So when light shoots through it creates like that spectrum of light, the rainbow. And then what that does in camera is that kind of gives you more of a kaleidoscope effect. It's gonna bend light and shoot light into your sensor at different angles and rates.
All right, talk to us about those beads that you were using.
So what they do is they're basically like little prisms, but a bunch of them, and then you could kind of dangle them in front of the lens. Gives you that cool kind of shake and glimmer and shine. Really spice up music videos.
Awesome. Then for our last lens effect, I noticed that you had this kind of chandelier crystal, something that would be hanging almost.
Right, so I went to the lighting section at Home Depot and they sell replacement chandelier crystals. For this one, what it does is it basically gave me a kaleidoscope effect. It looks like you're just looking down a kaleidoscope, right? Like you put a kaleidoscope right up to the lens, turn it just like a kaleidoscope and get the same effect. Putting the lens effects in front of the camera, there's a couple different things you have to look out for. First and foremost, if you have a wide angle lens on, you're gonna see what you're shooting through. So you gotta make sure that you use like a 32 or 35 or longer. The longer the lens, the more it's gonna compress that space and blur out the image.
So when you turn it, you're putting it in front of the lens, you're moving it around. How do you decide how you move it around?
It's basically all just by eye. These things work best when the camera's on a tripod. So you're basically just moving it around in frame and kind of trying to get the effect that you want. It's basically just freestyling. Go somewhere and explore the store. Look high, look low. It could be a colored sheet of clear paper. It could be a glass, a plastic.
So go out there and explore, find some lens effects of your own. So there you guys have it. There's your episode on practical lens effects with Justin Jones. Break it down one more time.
Basically, lens effects are anything that you can put in front of the lens to create an effect that you don't have to do in post to save you time and money. So go out there and find your own. You're never gonna know what you get until you put it in front of the lens.
Hope you guys were impressed with a couple of those effects. I know I was. If you liked this episode, make sure you find Justin on Instagram at JustinJonesDP. Find Aputure on Facebook, Instagram, the works. And of course, I want to give a huge shout out to the Hurlbut Visuals team for letting us come out and shoot at the Clubhouse. This is really an amazing location here with a ton of gear, a bunch of DPs learning about cinematography every day. We're gonna leave a description link down below. Also, make sure you leave a comment below with one more topic that you would like us to cover. We're going to pick the best topic and give out an Aputure M9. So think of something creative, think of something you want to learn, and of course, we'll catch you guys next time.